Hello everyone, my name is Amy Looten and I work at HOMEBANK. First, let's make sure that you have all the things you're going to need for this lesson. You will need this worksheet to help you write down and add all of your money. Your teacher should have sent this worksheet to you. You're going to need $1 or $2 in change with all types of coins, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, whatever you guys have at your house. You're going to need crayons or markers because we're going to be drawing a picture today. And of course, you need your pencil. Everybody ready to go? So your teacher has informed us that you've recently completed a lesson on money. That's a pretty important part of life, isn't it? Raise your hand if you already have some money. I want you to think about how you got that money. Did you get it for your birthday? Did you get it for completing a chore? Or maybe you get a weekly allowance? Did you win it? Or maybe you found it on the ground. So please turn over your worksheet, and on the blank side, I want you to draw me a picture of how you earned your money. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that, and you can always pause this video if you need a little bit more time, so take your time, and I'll be back in a bit. Is your picture all done? I can't wait to see it. Who has gone to the bank with an adult? Raise your hand if you've come inside the bank and watched mom or dad sit at a desk and talk with one of our workers. Did you get a sucker? Yes, we have lots of them at HOMEBANK, all flavors. Raise your hand if you stayed in the car and drove through our drive-up lane. Maybe mom or dad put money in the drawer, or maybe they put it in a tube and sent it to the ladies inside the window. Did you ever wonder how that container gets inside the building? It's kind of magic, isn't it? Raise your hand if you've ever watched mom or dad push some buttons and money comes out of a big machine with no help from bank's workers at all. That's called an ATM, automatic teller machine, and they're all over town. Money's important, isn't it? Mom and dad need money to buy food and to pay for your home, to purchase your clothes and your school supplies. What do you need money for? Maybe you need it to go to the movies, or to go to the pool in the summertime, or to buy a special snack. You certainly need it for toys, don't you? At HOMEBANK, we work with money every day. We count it, we add it to people's accounts, we subtract it when they buy something, and we help our customers save up for special things to buy that maybe they don't quite have the money yet for. So since your teacher says that you know all about money, I'm going to test you. I'm going to hold up a coin close to the camera, hopefully, so you can see it well. And I want you to write down on your worksheet the name of the coin and how much it is worth. So let's do the very first one together. You don't need to write this one down. It's just an example. So here's the example. Here's the coin. Take a good look. It's silver and it has smooth edges. And there's a picture of President Jefferson on the front and a very wide building on the back. What's that one called? It's a nickel. That's right. And how much is a nickel worth? 5 cents. That's correct. Now, let's write down the rest of them on your paper. So get your paper and your pencil out. And I will hold up some different coins and you can write them down. Here's the first coin on your paper. It's copper color and it's got a picture of President Lincoln on the front and a building on the back, and it has some smooth edges. So write down the name of this coin and how much it is worth in the first line on your paper. You got that one? Okay. The second coin on your paper is silver. And there's a picture of President Washington on the front and an eagle on the back. It's got ridges on the side. So what is this coin? It's bigger than the first one. Write down the name of the coin and how much it's worth. All right, line number 3. Now, this is kind of a tricky one. This coin looks an awful lot like the last one, doesn't it? But it's bigger. Okay, so it's bigger. There's a picture of President Kennedy on the front and an eagle on the back. It also has some ridges. You don't see this coin very often, do you? So write down the name of this coin and how much it is worth. Okay, And the last coin. This coin is silver too, and it has ridges on the side, but it's little, right? So, and there's a picture of President Roosevelt on the front, and a torch, and some flowers on the back. So write down the name of this coin and how much it's worth on your paper. Okay. All right, everybody get through those? So let's check your paper, shall we? Okay, number 1. This first coin, remember it was copper and it had a picture of President Lincoln. This coin is say it with me, it's a penny. That's right. And how much is a penny worth? 1 cent. That is correct. Number 2. That silver coin with the picture of President Washington on it, it is a quarter. That's right. And how much is a quarter worth? 25 cents. That's correct. Now the tricky coin. The coin with President Kennedy's picture on the front, the bigger silver coin. What's that one? Did you get it? It's a $50. That's right. You don't see those very often, do you? And how much is a $50 worth? That's right, 50 cents. And the last coin was it's a dime. That's right. And a dime is worth how much? 10 cents. That's right. Oh, you are so smart. Your teachers were right. Okay, so now that you've proven to me that you do know what the coins are and what they're worth, we're going to do a fun little activity. So it's time to get your coins out. So if they're in a container or whatever, why don't you put them out on the table in front of you? We're almost ready for them. Okay, in the middle of your paper, there's a big box, and it's called a deposit slip. Adults use these all the time to bring their money into the bank. So the adult counts the money, then the bank counts the money, and we make sure that we agree on that number before we put it into their account. So let's start to fill out this deposit slip. The first thing you need is today's date. If you don't know today's date, that's okay. If you know if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatever, write in today, write in the date. Okay? I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, after you have written in the date or the day of the week, whatever you have there, the line underneath that says sign here. And that's where your name goes, because we're going to be pretending that you are bringing money to the bank. Okay, so you can write your name in cursive like the adults do, or you can just print your name. That would be fine too. So put your name in that line right underneath the day or the date. Okay, everybody got the day and the date and their name on those 2 lines. Ready to go? Okay. So look on the other half of that thing. So this is where you've signed your name and the date. So over here you see this grid of boxes, okay? And that's where we're going to write down how much money that you are bringing to the bank. So when an adult does this, there's several lines, because sometimes they bring us some cash and they bring us some checks. So they have to write down the amounts and then add it all up at the bottom. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do today. So get your coins out. You're ready for your coins. And the first deposit, or the first thing that you're going to record on this deposit slip, is 17 cents. So I want you to get your coins and I want you to count out for me 17 cents. And I'm going to give you a minute to do that, and I'll be right back. So do you have your 17 cents counted out? How'd you get there? Raise your hand if you use 17 pennies. That's 17 cents, isn't it? Raise your hand if you used 1 dime, 1 nickel, and 2 pennies. Yep, that's 17 cents. What other combinations are there? How about 3 nickels and 2 pennies? 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2. That's 17 cents, isn't it? That would work. Raise your hand if you used 1 dime and 7 pennies. Yep, that would be it. Raise your hand if you used 2 nickels and 7 pennies. So there's lots of different combinations, isn't it? And you are all correct. Good job. So on your paper, I want you to circle or make an X through, either way is fine, the coins that you used to make your 17 cents. So can you do that for me? Take a minute. So if you use 17 pennies, you're going to X out 17 pennies or circle 17 pennies or put a circle around 17 pennies. However you want to do it is fine with me. Okay, did you get all those coins circled to show me how you got to 17 cents? Very good. You all are very clever, so good job. I can't wait to see which version of 17 cents won. So now we're going to record that on your deposit slip, okay? So you're going to go back to these little boxes over here on the right-hand side. And do you remember how you write cents, okay? So this is not a whole dollar, right? So you need to put a 0 in the 5th box on that very first line, a 0, because it's not a whole dollar. And then you'll see the dot, and then put a 1 and a 7. Okay, so your first line should read 0.17. Remember, that's how you write cents when you're talking about money. Okay? Okay, so when you've got that done, put all your coins back together again, and we're going to count out a different number this time, a bigger number. So we're going to do 29 cents this time. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to do that. You can always pause this video until you are done with it. Okay, so 29 cents is what we're looking for this time. Got it? Okay, so who used a quarter and 4 pennies? Raise your hand if that's what you used to get to 29 cents. So what other combinations could we have? We could have 2 dimes, 1 nickel, and 4 pennies. Okay, so 2 dimes, 10 plus 10, plus a nickel, 25, plus 4 pennies is 29. Good job. Raise your hand if you used 5 nickels and 4 pennies. That equals 29 cents. That's a tricky one. Good job. So as the number gets larger, there are more combinations that you can use your coins, right? There are more ways to get to the larger number. Of course, you can do 29 pennies. You could do a dime and 19 pennies. You could have a dime, 2 nickels, and 9 pennies. Okay? So on your paper, in the second line, on the paper, right here, I want you to circle or X out, just like you did before, the coins that you used to get to 29 cents. Can you do that for me? $0.29. Okay, so once you're done circling the coins on your paper, we need to go back up to that deposit slip and write 29 cents on the second line. Okay, so you've got 0.17 in the first line. On the second line, remember, it's not a full dollar, so it's going to be 0.29. Okay, so the first line reads 0.17. The second line will read 0.29. It shows us that you've got 17 cents and 29 cents. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add those two together. I know that you all know how to add, so we're going to add them and then put them in the big box down there at the bottom. So you can see where there's a dot there too. Okay, so make sure that you put it in the right place. All right, and that dot is before that. So add those two numbers together for me. Okay, so what'd you get? Raise your hand if your paper says you'll be bringing 46 cents to the bank to deposit into your savings account. Is that what you got? 17 plus 29 equals 46 cents. That's right. So now why would somebody want to bring their money to the bank instead of keeping their money in their room or under their mattress or burying it in the backyard? Can you think of any reason why you would want to bring that to the bank instead? Well, first of all, it's going to be harder to spend, isn't it? So if you're trying to save up for a special toy that costs more than you have, you don't want to spend the money. And so if it's at the bank, it's a little harder to get to. And so you won't spend it, right? So that's a good way to think about it. It's safer at the bank than it is at your house. You know, if, heaven forbid, you would have a fire, or if somebody would steal it, you know, those kinds of things can happen at your house. They don't happen at the bank. And at the bank, you won't lose it either. Sometimes that happens too. You lose your money. So bringing it to the bank is a safer way to keep your money. But the biggest reason that you want your money in a bank is that the bank pays you for allowing us to hold it for you, okay? It's called interest, all right? So if you deposit that 46 cents into your account and the bank adds 6 cents, that gives you 52 cents. And you know, you didn't have to do anything for that 6 cents. You didn't have to have a special occasion. You didn't have to do any work. The bank just gave it to you. It's called interest on your account. And of course, the more money you bring to the bank, the more money the bank pays you for that. So that's why we encourage you that when your piggy bank is full or when you have a birthday or whatever, bring your money to the bank. and put it in a savings account. You know, if the bank helps you save for that special toy, you'll get it a lot quicker, won't you? So I have one more thing for you today, and Mom and Dad need to hear this. So if Mom and Dad aren't with you at this very moment, I need you to pause this video and go get them, okay? Hi, Mom and Dad. I've had a lot of fun working with your student today, and they have worked very, very hard. As a reward, if you will help them return their worksheet to HOMEBANK, we'll give them $2. So if your child already has a savings account at HOMEBANK, or if you'd like to open a savings account for them, we will put that $2 directly into their account. Now, if they don't have a savings account with us and you don't want to do that, still turn in their paperwork. We'll think of something, okay? So you can drop off your worksheet like by going through one of our drive-up windows and just make sure that your student's name is on the top of it and just turn it in through the teller, through the drive-up window, okay? And we can do that $2 that way. You can mail it to us at this address, or if you have the ability to, you can take a picture of it and you can email it to me at this address, okay? So if you return this worksheet showing us that you did the work today, HOMEBANK will pay your student $2. So that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for watching this video, and save, save, save your money.